The Brilliance trilogy is based on the idea of an alternate present where about 1980, 1% of people in the world started being born with exceptional gifts. No superpowers, nobody can fly, no claws popping through their hands. It's more ways of viewing the world. They're sort of akin to savants. And the problem is that when 1% of the world is just objectively better than the other 99, what happens to the rest of us? So the trilogy is one epic story, beginning with Brilliance. The whole story takes place in less than a year, and Written in Fire is the culmination of it. It's my Return of the Jedi without Ewoks. Well, I think, like many authors, I've wanted to be a writer as far back as I can remember. I mean, when I was 5, other kids wanted to be rock stars and astronauts, and I wanted to write books. So I'm very literally living my dream, which is a happy place to be.
Fantastic.
That said, I knew I always wanted to do it. It was always a plan, but it is a journey. You know, I wrote just abysmal fiction in high school and terrible fiction in college, and then wretched fiction shortly thereafter. And it hit me that it really I needed to go out and live a life. You know, have some experiences. That wanting to write is not the same as having anything to say.
Right.
So I did that, and after about 10-ish years working in corporations and getting married and owning a house and, you know, all those kinds of things, I was working in advertising, and it was a good job in a lot of ways. It's a lot of smart people. It's interesting challenges, but you just burn out on it. And so I was going in every day trying to think of reasons not to set the building on fire. My wife suggested that perhaps it would be better to chase the dream I always had in mind, which was writing a book. So I went in, this is a true story, I went in to tell my boss that I was quitting, and I opened my mouth, and before I could get a word in, he said, "Marcus, I'm sorry, we're going to have to let you go." I spent probably a year really learning how to write a book, getting my hands dirty and writing short stories and breaking down books I loved, which absolutely ruins them for ever loving them again. And then I wrote my first novel, which was The Blade itself. So that was the first novel that I ever wrote, and it was sold at auction and published in 2007.